morning or good afternoon or good evening, depending on when you're practicing with me. I am live today, Saturday, in Vermont. And the focus is going to be on balancing our inward and outward awareness. Many folks who are empaths or feel significant empathy often have a hard time staying away from being overwhelmed. Um, and then also others of us, or maybe the same, uh, have that empathy, but then we go ahead and create a new narrative for ourselves in our heads and become overwhelmed or angry or whatever it might be. And the inward focus too can do the same thing. It can be of benefit, it can be difficult. So I wanted to have us take the time to compare the two in a flow. We're going to start out standing today. And we will take our time to explore what's happening outwardly, mainly through the senses, so that none of the other stuff is purposely coming into our heads. And then from an inward perspective, we'll look in almost as if the inner body is a universe of its own planets. So let's go ahead and start in a standing posture. And I'm working on my sideways methodology. So it's easier to see one full side of what I'm doing. So we're going to go ahead and just shake everything out. Maybe you buzz your lips, maybe you make noises. Moving the big muscles, taking big muscle movement. Kind of the same thing. And now let's settle and lift our arms up and lift the left knee, tap it with the right hand and come down. And other side. And you can go fast or slow, taking your time. Good coordination, good warm up. And we'll swoosh the bad stuff out and inhale the good stuff. Whoosh. Whoosh. And hands to your heart. Just that little teeny bit warmed me up. So I'm going to go ahead and remove my outer layer. Feel free to do so yourself. Not remove my outer layer, remove yours. Okay, so standing at the front of our mat once again, mountain pose, rock around on your feet, feel all four corners, loosen the arms, loosen the shoulders, shrug the shoulders up, breath in, reach them behind you, release and breath out. And again. One more time. Nice. Inhale, arms lift overhead. Breathe out for a forward fold. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Rise up to stand, arms overhead. Hands together at your heart. We're going to step back with the left foot as far as we can. And then pivot toward the long edge of the mat. Check that your feet are parallel. If you have slippy socks on, I advise you to remove them now. We're going to start out in a 5-pointed star. We're going to bring the arms into a T and spin on the front heel, the right heel, and allow it to point forward. Bring your back foot parallel to the back of the mat. We're going to take a warrior 2. We check in that we've got a lot of energy. That's actually part of this whole inward, outward. Right now, maybe you feel the energy in certain muscles. And maybe the things that are outside you that you can't always control can often control your heat, but here it's really cold today, so not. You notice what's going on around you, but you stay kind of close. How does it manifest in sight or sound, taste, or touch, smell? Reverse your warrior. Deep in that front knee. Maybe you take a half bend. A half bend, half bind. If you have your half bind, maintain it. Straighten your front foot. Lift your right arm high. And now take a tilt again, but with a straight leg. Straighten out your arm. Reach that right arm forward. We're not sending the chest forward and the bottom back. We're reaching the right arm toward the front of the mat, and then we can find our triangle pose. I know that's a little early for Karen practices, isn't it? If you like, you might go ahead and sweep that left arm high. Doesn't matter how deep you get. What is your inward experience? What is your inner body, inner awareness telling you? Oh, a little tightness in the hip. Yeah, oh, a little cracking in the low back. We're going to spin around, come to our runner's lunge. I'm going to have to take my socks off, even though it's still cold. And in your runner's lunge, take a moment to settle in. What is influencing the shape and how far you go? Is it some narrative in your head about what you eat for breakfast or lunch? So we are right foot forward, left foot back in our runner's lunge. Left hand comes down and we slowly twist to the right, eventually maybe floating the right arm. And again, noticing what do you feel inside the body? And is there any outward awareness that is causing you to not settle into the posture? Bring your pelvis a little forward. Drop your right hand down inside your right foot and heel toe that foot out to the edge of the mat. We're going to take a lizard twist, palms coming to the ground, right toes point outward. Maybe you drop your back leg, maybe not. I noticed that my back is a little rounded, so I'm going to bring my pelvis forward more. And the right forearm or hand on the inner right thigh. Take a look over the right shoulder. And we'll draw the hand back to the ground into our high plank and pause. And we'll come all the way down to the mat. No chin, chest, hips. Arms can come into a T, legs move wide, bend your knees, and windshield wiper the legs left and right. Your head is facing the left, and we're going to bring the legs back down to the mat and zip them up like a tree trunk. With the right arm now coming straight out from your shoulder, straight out to the right. Your head faces the opposite direction. Your left hand under your left shoulder. We're going to press into that left hand and draw onto the right hip. You might lift the top leg. You might take a bind, quad stretch, or maybe you drop that left foot behind the right calf. So noticing, where does this manifest? Is it neck, head, chest, hip? Where do you feel this? What is your inside say about it or represent about it. And then we'll take a moment to reflect on whether there's anything going on in our lives that is making its way into our brains. We formulate some kind of story around that. It happens all the time. This is only going to get worse. Oh my gosh, it's snowing again. I'm never going to be able to get out to go to the grocery store. Those things don't have to be true. And also, some of it you cannot control. If there's a storm, what you can do is control your response to the storm. You can't control the storm. Whether that storm is physical, weather-like, or political, or social, or money, we can always sit with it. We're going to roll over and take the other side. And knowing that sitting might be 30 seconds, it might be 5 minutes, it might be 2 minutes, it might be 2 hours. But sitting with it doesn't mean you have to stay. I know that's what we teach puppies. Sit, stay. But sometimes we can only withstand sitting, meditating, considering, or trying to open our mind around something for seconds. And draw back to the belly. Forearms to the ground, elbows under your shoulders, and reach the heart forward and up, finding a Sphinx pose. If this is all in your low back, you might spread your feet a little bit wider, or really want to be energetically moving the arms and the palms backward, and the rib cage and the chest forward, the shoulder blades squeezing to each other. We come down to the mat and find ourselves a child's pose. If you like to have something under your belly and or your head, grab that now. You definitely want your sitting bones as close to your heels as possible and your forehead resting on something. All right, lift the wrists off the mat, but keep the fingertips there. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, a little crawl of the hands over to the right, maybe all the way off the mat. Settle back in. Maybe left palm on the back of the right. And your left sitting bone comes toward your left heel. Feel that stretch. What's happening inside the body? What are you aware of? Sensation, senses, labeled things, unlabeled things. And is there anything causing you to hold on here rather than to let go? You draw back to the fingertips. Inhale toward the center. Exhale toward the left. And then settle in. All right, crawling back to the center, we come to a tabletop. I like this view because I can actually see my body better. I want to see where my spine is working, because especially if you have osteoporosis, or there are indicators of that. I'm not sure they're saying osteopenia anymore, or if that's a diagnosis anymore. You really want the back of your neck as straight as you possibly can, rather than dropping your head or lifting it. And go ahead and float the right leg long behind and the left arm long in front. Balance out the hips. This is all about balance today. So we're bringing in mental balance, balance of your awareness, and physical balance, balance of the breath. We're going to sweep left arm to the left, right leg to the right. Plant the right foot down. Walk the left hand in front of your left knee. Maybe kickstand that left foot out to the left a little bit. And we walk until we are upright. Walk with the hands, I mean. So we now have lots of energy in the outer edge of the right foot. The whole foot is down on the ground. Arms will lift forward, lock in to the shoulders and lift up. We're going to take the left hand so that the arm is over your head and the hand is touching your ears, and the same thing with the right. It's almost like you're creating elf ears by lifting yourself from the ground. All right, we're going to take a tilt over to the right, and then very slowly unravel the right hand down onto your thigh with the palm up. And maybe you take a peek upward as you float the left hand high. Keep pressing that right foot into the earth, pelvis forward. Moving into our rock star, maybe a little bit more difficult. Windmill the arms so the left hand comes outside the left knee. I have to bend to do that. But then what we really want is to press the pelvis forward and lift the right arm, opening up the chest. It helps if you kind of curl your hand a little bit. Energy into the outer edge of that right foot again, unless you want to bring the left hand to the ground more stably and float the right leg. Pelvis remains forward. We're going to sweep the right arm up and over to the left. Sweep the right leg behind us as we come into a three-legged woo, tabletop, and that right leg continues to sweep over the left calf. And then this is not a pigeon, so you're drawing your right hip back to your right heel. You can also bring your arms back. Nice. Opener in the glutes. I got a 1 potato, 2 potato in my hands. And I have a little more space to work with, so I'm going to flip the toes under and push the right heel backward as the knee lifts away from the mat. Check in with the shoulders. What are you aware of that is inside the body, that is happening, that is moving, that is loosening or tightening? What's going on outside your body? Has it warmed up in your room? We will come back to our three-legged tabletop, drop the knee toward the nose, and stretch back out again. Knee comes to the ground. Now we're going to see the instructor remembers everything that we did on that side. Go ahead and step the left foot forward and the right foot forward and come into a forward fold. A little wide-legged. Maybe your hands come under your shoulder, a little forward of that. We take a halfway lift. Bend your left knee. Place your left fingertips on the ground under your nose. Right hand to your heart. Lift up halfway. Full breath. Inhale, long spine, and exhale, twist. And maybe, if it feels okay on the next twist, you can unfurl your right arm up toward the sky. You should be feeling this in your IT band on the right, maybe also your hamstrings. If you don't, twist more from the belly. Maybe you bring your feet closer together. Or maybe you unbend the left knee. We'll draw the right hand down, set up for that on the other side. Both hands down the mat, the heel toe, the feet closer to one another. Lift halfway up, bend your knees, draw into a chair. Arms can be wherever it feels okay for you. Rise to the tiptoes, stay in your chair. Stay in your chair, draw your heels down to the mat. Energy is in your heels. Now we're going to interlace the fingers behind the back, lengthen the arms, and find a forward fold. Being careful again, not to round, not to stress the neck. With soft knees, we drop the arms, lift all the way up using the belly. Backward bend. And exhale, hands to the heart. This time we're going to step the right foot way to the back of the mat. We're going to spin so we're facing the side of the mat. Feet are nice and wide. We take a 5-pointed star. To warrior 2. Pivoting on that left heel, toes face to the left, back foot comes parallel to the back of the mat, and we bend the front knee. Arms out in a T. Reverse this warrior. Maybe find a half bind. Left knee moves to the left. Pelvis drops down and moves forward. Straighten your front leg, maintain your half bind and your reverse. Find your Trikonasana, left arm or both. Reach as far forward as you can with that left arm before you drop it. You may maintain your half bind as you open up your heart and your shoulder, or perhaps you reach the arm to the sky. Are you telling yourself a story, or are you paying attention, hyper aware of what's going on inside the body? We shall spin on the back toes, come into our runner's lunge. We take our twist. Actually, I'm not sure we did this on the other side, but it's one little extra movement. Hand inside the left foot, heel toe the left foot out to the left. Come to your palms, point the left toes out. And a little spin, pelvis forward. And we drop the left hand, heel toe the foot back toward us. Drop the back knee. Tabletop. You might find it feels good to take a few movements here without a lot of thought. You just want to let the body guide you. And we meet in our tabletop. Left leg floats off the mat behind us. Reach with the heel, square up your hips. Right arm floats in front. The chin is not lifted, but the body is long. Right arm to the right, left leg to the left. Stretch, stretch, stretch. And the left foot comes down to the mat. Right hand in front of your right knee till you can walk the hands back and rise so your shoulders are over your hips. Need to move my leg forward. It's a little slippy. We want to put a little power into that leg. So we're upright, pelvis forward, navel drawn in. We lift the arms up and we interlace the fingers. Send the palms to the sky. We'll take a little tilt to the left. pelvis forward, energy in your leg. Left hand floats down, back of the hand on the thigh. And the right arm can lift high. We're opening up a little farther, or maybe come over in a little tilt. We shall sweep the right hand outside the right hip. Let the left arm follow as we press the pelvis forward, the left foot into the ground, the shoelace side of the right foot into the ground. Belly strong, stretching, reaching, aware of any breeze or coolness or warmth on your skin. Aware of the blood pumping, the heart pumping inside your body. And aware of any, back talk that's happening inside your head, and change it to transparent talk, to positive talk. And we'll sweep that left hand around. Right hand joins it. Left leg floats. And we sweep it all the way back and over the right calf, drawing the front of the left hip to the mat. Forearms are on the mat. Nice strong spine. Maybe if you have enough space, left toes can tuck under and float the left knee off the mat as the heel reaches backward and out to the right. We're going to draw our way back into a closed knee child's pose or rabbit pose. You might place a blanket or something underneath your thighs. Draw your sitting bones back. Drop the top of your head on your mat if possible. I have to move my t-shirt out of the way. And bring your arms beside you with the palms facing up. Rabbit. Rabbit, rabbit, rabbit. We're going to work into a couple back bends, so we're going to kneel upright. If you have any difficulty with your low back, or if camel is not in your practice, I will guide one side at a time. But if camel is part of your practice and or you can do so safely today, because today's different from yesterday, go ahead and follow into that for yourself, being aware internally and externally. All right, for the rest of us, we will tuck our toes under, bring our pelvis forward, lift both arms high, take a little shift of the pelvis forward, the navel upward, squeeze the shoulder blades together, and drop the right hand behind you, and maybe the fingers reach your heel. So pressing both hips forward, trying to work that evenness, the balance across the hips. You might find a little bit of a deeper back bend, especially if you draw your left arm into a cactus shape. Lots of people will drop their head back. I'm holding on to mine. You do whatever feels okay. And for the other side, both hands to your hips, press the flesh down, rise back up. Maybe a little helicopter movement left and right. And we'll take that to the other side. Arms up, cactus shape, pelvis forward, torso long, shoulder blades squeeze. Left arm this time reaches back to your heel. Pelvis working forward and even for your hips. Right hand to your heart. Use your belly, rise up, left hand to your heart. Beautiful. We're going to sit back on the heels for a little lion's roar. As we get closer to the end of the practice, we'll spend a little bit more time on the mat. We like to start with lion's roar. For me, it's not overly early on a Saturday morning, but it's early enough that I could use a little wake up. So this is nice for either or both waking up and relaxation, because on the one hand, it's an energetic push of power out the mouth and out the face. And at the same time, it's also a release. So it goes something like this. You breathe in super deep, and then you force the breath out the mouth with a sound kind of reminiscent of some old war dances. The tongue will come out of the mouth and the eyes open wide. So beautiful. Draw your way to a seat. I'm just going to grab a little water. I don't know how people don't drink water while they're practicing, but I know some practices don't allow it. Okay, we're going to start with a little twist. Left leg long, right knee to the sky, about a fist's width distance between your foot and your leg. Right arm behind you, helping you, guiding you to sit up straight, but not pushing you. And then you're welcome to bring the elbow to the outside or just the hand. Whatever you do, just check back and make sure the knee's not moving toward the center or away from the center. So adduction or abduction. So we sit nice and tall, toes to the sky, and exhale for the twist, shoulders down. And take that again. This time the eyeballs follow the same journey, maybe past where the head or the shoulder is. Inhale, front and center. Right foot inside your right thigh for Janu Shirshasana. So you drop that right knee straight out. I have seen recently a handful of things on Instagram, so I encourage you to trust but validate. But I have seen people instructing to do this with the leg open. If that's the intention, that's fine, but that is not Janu Shirshasana. So my intention is Janu Shirshasana, so that we're working the hamstring and the back and the hip on this side. So sit up nice and tall and crawl your hands forward, almost as if you're painting your thigh with your belly. I don't come very far forward. So you take what you need to take and what works, but no, not encouraging you to round your spine and try and reach your head to your shin or any other part. All right, let's rise up using the belly and take our twist to the other side. Inhale forward. I just had a thought rush through my head and I was going to mention it and now I forgot it. So my practice of letting go apparently is working. Be aware. I was aware in that moment. Now I'm not at all. Sit up tall with your left foot touching the inside of your right thigh. Fingertips crawl forward till they can't crawl anymore. Then you pause, breathing in. Draw the belly into exhale. Maybe you'll find a little bit more space. Remember the goal here, straighter back rather than worrying about how close you get to the leg. We're opening up the Achilles heel, for some people, the calf, the hamstrings, and the hip on the left side, and probably a little bit your low back and your heart. And we rise back up. We're going to take We're going to bring the left foot to the ground with the knee bent and take a seated figure 4. So you might just stay here. It's difficult enough for many of us to just sit up nice and straight and soften the heart and bring the heart toward the shin. But you can also potentially gather up the knee and the foot and extend your left leg to find a little rocking here. But if you're rolled over, I would not encourage that. You want to sit tall, find a little circling, a little rocking, which creates the opening all in that right hip. Nice little stretch in the glutes. Now we're going to bring that left foot back to the floor, heel toe it over to the right, and drop the shin so it's parallel to the front of the mat. And you're going to gently put your baby down on top of it. You see, I've almost sprung into action there because I got a lot taller. If you feel like you can't quite get settled and relaxed in that right hip, if there's space between your left foot and your right knee, go ahead and place a prop there, your water bottle or a blanket or something. And we'll sit up here in whatever mudra works for you. Gentle twist on an exhale to the right. And like a helicopter, as we breathe in, we move around the front, and as we exhale, we twist to the other side. And we come back to center. We did our Janu Shirshasana on the other side. So we will go ahead and bring the sole of the right foot to the ground and lift the left leg for our seated figure 4. I'm a lot tighter on this side, so my awareness is, I'm trying not to make my expectation and my assumption that I will be tighter, but as soon as I lift the leg and place the ankle inside, I feel a ton of tightness right in here. Outside, I can see that my body is not sitting up straight, so I'm going to send my leg forward a little bit. If you want to wrap up the baby, and you can go ahead and do that and lengthen the right leg. It's harder for me on this side. And find your rocking. Oh, it feels so yummy. And right foot back onto the ground, heel toe it to the left, shin parallel to the earth. Gently place the baby. We're stacking the logs here, and we sit up nice and tall, finding any place or mudra for the hands. Just for a little fun and giggles, we're going to bring the hands behind us with the fingers pointing toward the body. Nice long spine. I know I didn't look good. My head was like, blah. Bring the soles of the feet onto the ground. And we're going to draw the belly in, press energy into the feet and hands, and move the knees forward for a reverse tabletop. I obviously have some work to do here. My butt does not get as high as I might like, but it is what it is. That's what it is today. It is what it is, unless you don't know what it is until you know what it is. And your bottom comes down close to your heels, so you can come onto your forearms, and then all the way onto your back, and drop your knees out to either side. Supta Baddha Konasana. You might decide to take the arms overhead for a little extra stretch. Or keep a hand on the belly and a hand on your heart. If your hands are other Then your heart, you're going to move your hands toward your heart and then drop the arms out in the T with the palms facing up. Bring the sole of your left foot to the mat and scoot your hips over to the left a little bit. Now you'll bring your knees together on the right, scooching around as you need to ensure that the head faces, the nose faces up or to the left, opposite your knees, and that your shoulder blades are on the ground. If they're not, come out of the twist a little bit. Maybe place something under your outer knee, or maybe you drop the arms a little closer to the body, or perhaps you use a rolled up blanket or hoodie or something. We're going to come all the way back to the spine, shift the hips over to the right, and move the knees to the left. The head, again, will face up or to the right. Check in with the shoulder blades. Maybe you scoot them downward or toward each other a little bit. Relaxing in. Noticing what's happening inside the body, the pumping of the blood, the movement of the air, cells replacing cells, digestion. And then sensations, which are sort of an interesting combination of being aware of the body while also being aware of what's going on around you. So any sensations of touch, arms on the floor, feet touching one another, the touch of the air on your skin, sound from outside you. And check out any scent, any aroma, any smells. Taste. And finally, even with the eyes closed, sight or insight that may feel a little bit less externally aware and a little bit more internally aware. All right, we're going to come back to our back. Lengthen the arms and the legs, a full body stretch, breathing in. Let it go. We'll take a few minutes in Shavasana, allowing ourselves to settle back in and recall what brought you to your mat today. Consider all the feels you feel, whether those are in the breath, in the prana, the life force, in the body, outside the body, emotions, sensations, stories, and anything that doesn't serve you. Find a way to acknowledge it and release. Allowing yourself balance of what's going on in the body, in the breath, in the spirit, in the mind. And what are you telling yourself about all the stuff that goes on around you that you cannot control? What is your narrative? Is there a way to switch it to something neutral or positive? To be aware without grasping. And when you're ready, a little grabbing of the knees and a roll up to your seat. I will face you now. With hands at heart, I express my heartfelt gratitude for anyone who is practicing, whether using this video, coming to a physical class, meditating, sitting, whatever discipline of yoga, my heartfelt gratitude for each time we practice in a noticeable way. We are one practice closer to mastery, to bringing all of this wonderfulness off the mat, our ability to balance what we can control and what we cannot, to be aware and to be compassionate. And with that, we'll close with an Om. Inhale deeply. Thumb knuckles right to the center of your forehead so we can bow. Namaste. Thank you to you individually and as a group. It is always wonderful to practice. I love my Saturday mornings, even though I can't see you. But they are a fun, innovative route to practicing thematically without having to worry about doing the same thing every week or close to the same thing every week. So that's kind of nice. I hope you have a great week and an absolutely incredible 2026. And if there's anything you ever need, you know where to find me at info@saltandsandstudios.com. Thank you. Have a good one.